Hello and welcome to the Superintendent's Perspective. My name is Mario Salinas, Superintendent for Edinburgh Schools. I'm joined today by Board President Miguel Mike Parias and COVID Director Dr. Anthony Garza. Today's topic is school safety. Sir, as we know, President Farias, the teachers are back on campus. More and more students are coming back on campus, and our priority has always been to make sure that we do all we can do, all the resources that we have at our disposal to make sure that our teachers are safe and that our students are safe. And so, Dr. Garza, what are the latest updates that you have regarding the safe environment on campus?
Well, we've had an increase in enrollment ever since the teachers came back, and we probably went up about 1,500 to 2,000 more students than were there before the teachers. They were still had a choice to be remote. Now that we are at all the teachers on campus, we've seen growth in our in-person enrollment, and we have had nothing but good feedback from the staffs and the students and parents that are sending their children to school. So we're hearing good things. All of the safety practices are still in place as far as the temperature checks, the self-screening in the morning, walking in a directional with directional dots and lines. So we're hearing good things, Dr. Salinas. The schools appear to be very, very safe at this time.
What are the latest data? What are the latest metrics as far as staff and students testing positive for the disease?
It's very low. We have been testing our staff. We are encouraging them to test every 2 weeks, and I think we had one positive case this last 2 weeks out of 5,000 employees.
How many were we? Remember when we first came back from the holidays, how many we were getting positive almost on a daily basis?
Yeah, it was almost on a daily basis, and that's way before the vaccine. That's way before all these blessings that have been rained upon us with the availability for the vaccine. When you look at that, you see a large percentage, all of our employees that wanted the vaccine have been vaccinated in our district. So that really minimizes the exposure and the liability of them getting the virus. So that's major.
Remember when we got back from the holidays? There were days when we had 25 positive cases district-wide. Remember?
Yes.
And we got alarmed, and we said, okay, we got alarmed, and what do we need to do to slow down? And
at the time, the only thing that we could do was get the PPE equipment, and that helped, but nothing helped as much as the vaccine. The vaccine is really the true hero here that came out and saved the day. And even though we have the vaccine, as Dr. Anthony Garza says, we're still doing all the precautions above and beyond them being vaccinated. With the gloves, with the shields, with the masks, with the sanitizer, with the water fountains, with all these different things that we're doing. And so we're still vigilant and going forward. And even though they're vaccinated, we're still vigilant and taking every precaution necessary for it to make sure that we don't get back to that situation that we were about a year ago.
And back to the vaccine, back to the testing that we're doing, whether they're vaccinated or not, we're encouraging them to continue to test, because the test, it gives them a peace of mind to continue working, but it also protects others around them, whether it's their students or their co-workers or their loved ones at home. We want to know. I myself am testing every 2 weeks. I tested Friday. And I put the procedures out there. I lead by example. I tested Friday. I got my negative results, and I have peace of mind going home, seeing my mom, my son, and my wife, and know that they're protected. So I encourage all the staff out there to get tested every 2 weeks. You're saving lives by doing so.
Yes.
And I get tested every Monday as well. When I come here, I'm vaccinated, fully vaccinated, but I test myself every Monday just to lead by example.
Yes, sir.
And for those out there, the on-campus positive rates are very, very low compared to what we used to experience.
Yes, very low.
And the county rates right now, we have the hospitalization rate that for a while was up at 20-30% of COVID cases
Yes.
hospitalized.
It was very high.
And that's when we became a hotspot across the nation, not just the state. And recently we have dipped under 15%, and for the last 2 weeks, we've been way below 15, and we were at 14%, 13%, and this last readout that we got was 11% hospitalization rate.
Wow.
Which is very good. We're in a very good trend right now, but we need to continue. This pandemic is not over. We're continuing our vaccination clinics, and we're continuing to test.
It's like we're not supposed to relax. We appreciate and we celebrate the fact that we're going down, but we still have to we still have to go ahead and still keep on doing the same precautions. We can't lean back and say it's over. We got to go until everybody gets vaccinated 100%. And that's eventually going to happen. So it is encouraging to see the numbers going down, and on a constant trend, it's going down. So it's a big difference of the 25, the 27, the 30% that we were getting just only 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
What a difference.
And let me remind the community that we've joined forces with DHR, with the county, with the city of Edinburgh, with UTRGV, and this week we vaccinated 3,000 individuals. So we're doing our very best to bring things back to normal. We want to be part of that solution.
And I'm so glad you brought that up. We got our first 2,000 vaccines, and directly from the state. We got last week 100 Johnson & Johnson, and this week we got 2,000 vaccines. So that is really encouraging, and that's above and beyond what we get from the county. So it's going to continue growing, and we'll become more aggressive, and that way we can vaccinate our family members, our community, and do our part in making this.
I know that a lot of community out there that are aware that we got the Johnson & Johnson. They've been calling that for some in the community. That's the preferred vaccine for them. We're hoping that we get some more.
Yes.
I know last week Johnson & Johnson didn't send vaccines to the state of Texas. So we're hoping that this week or in the coming weeks we get some more Johnson & Johnson for those out there that prefer that vaccine.
Yes, that's good.
And just to summarize our vaccine clinics that we've been holding at Avila, before this week, we had 6 clinics over the last 2 months, roughly 6,000 doses. And then this week, the short spring break week, in 3 days, we did 3,000 doses. We actually did them in 2 days. So we're very excited about our team. And I want to thank the vaccination team effort that I have out there at Avila, because I'm the COVID director, so I lead them. But Nurse Diana Avila, our Director of Health Services, and all her nursing team is out there giving unselfish of themselves to be out there and vaccinating all these people. It's easy for me to be there, but I'm not the one putting 100 doses all day long. I mean, one would be hard for me, and they're all day. Next.
They gotta sustain the concentration.
They're very focused. These ladies are focused. They turn it back in. They take their 30-minute lunch and come back. So I'm very proud of the work that they've done, and the rest of the staff that's there helping. But especially the ones sticking those arms. I mean, that's not an easy task.
No, it isn't. And it's just a testament of the quality of staff that we have here at ECISD. And I'm very, very proud of all of you for meeting the challenge and going forward, and not just meeting the challenge, but going above and beyond. And all I hear is compliments. All I hear is how efficient, how fast, how organized. And that's just a testament to the quality and the time that we took to implement the things and the programs and the schedules and the planning in order for it to be a success. So congratulations to the whole staff at ECISD. Awesome job.
Dr. Garza, we visited some campuses this week to see how the teachers were doing.
Yes.
How did that go?
Well, we went out to 2 campuses this week, and we were really following up last week's show where we talked about the safety protocols that were in place. But this week, the 3 of us actually went out to several of the campuses. So at this time, let's hear a little bit from the staff at Avila Elementary School.
Our teachers are phenomenal at what they do, and they did the best that they could in the remote setting. But now giving them the opportunity to do a hybrid course, the proximity level, the engagement strategies, the queuing of questions when the students are not receiving it, that's done best when the students are in the same classroom with them. So they're able to see the students and they're able to know what they're writing down, what they're not. And then the checking for understanding is extremely important too, whether they receive the information, whether they comprehend it, and whether we can move forward. That makes a big difference as well. On the remote setting, it's more of a one-way, if at all two-way, it's very hard to know whether they understood the concept. But then being here, you see the evidence of whether they understood what they're learning. When the students arrive, we start the check-in process. And so it involves checking in their temperature. And then we also issue out, as another safety precaution, 2 additional questions for the parents to know on a daily basis before sending their kids over to school. Once they get dropped off, then they wear their masks as they're coming out of their car, and then they know how to walk. They use the right side of the hallway, and we have it indicated all along the route just so that they can keep their distance. As they arrive, they go straight into their classrooms because we're very fortunate that the teachers are here by 7:30, so they can have their breakfast in the classroom. And then at 7:45 to 8 o'clock, that's when the teachers are meeting with the virtual students as well. And then their day begins at 8 o'clock.
I'm not scared. I can see my students. I think they're better here than outside on restaurants everywhere. Here we are telling them and reminding them, and we sanitize. And every time they have a book, they have with me their little bags with books, and they don't share. So they know they feel safe with me, and I feel safe too. Having the kids here, you can teach strategies. You can focus on targeting exactly what they need. And it's really hard when they're at home to see what's going on the other side. No matter if they have cameras on and they can be paying attention to you, the kids are worried. I mean, worries, concerns, siblings, everything around that they don't pay attention to you. I mean, their eyes are to you, but not their minds. Here in school, everything is educational. Any interruption, maybe like a teacher coming to ask something, is gonna be about education. When they have a question, right away they ask me. I can see what their face is like, I don't get it. And I directly find something, research to give it to them. The Juno speaker, it helps me with the kids that are at home, because when I have my laptop and I am projecting something, it's really hard for the ones that are here to listen and the ones that are at home not to be so low. I mean, everybody listens the same. So when I have the Juno speaker, my kids that are here, they can listen to them. And the ones that are at home, they listen to my kids here. So it's like I have one classroom, a totally hybrid instruction. That's why I like it.
Whatever you need, we're going to get you in terms of support, resources, anything that you need from us. Central administration is to become the best teacher you can be. We are teacher-friendly administration and board.
That says a lot. I mean, just we teachers, we want to pursue our career and we want to give anything we have to the kids.
We're very fortunate that the community has trusted us with their kids. Right now we're at 28%. We have over 200 students here at our campus right now, and we hope that our parents will continue to see how safe it is here at our campus, and will continue to send their kids over to our campus on a daily basis.
Mr. Leal, we want to thank you for opening your doors to us today. We're very happy that you continue to enforce the face mask, the social distancing, and enforcing your campus WorkSafe plan. And on top of that, making it such a welcoming environment for these students coming in person.
Thank you, Dr. Garza, to you, to our board, and to Dr. Salinas for being very supportive in all of our initiatives and getting us what we need in a timely manner. And I think all of us together are able to do what we do on a daily basis.
And that was our tour of Avila Elementary.
Dr. Garza, President Farias, we've been talking about the need to go back to face-to-face interaction between the teachers and the students.
Yes, sir.
And we saw it. We saw that on the tour. I was, as a superintendent of this district, this organization, to see the teacher interacting with the students live almost gave me chills. It just, I got a little emotional seeing it because I hadn't seen that in a year, and that just tells me we're getting closer and closer to back to normal.
Yes.
And seeing the teacher interact with her students, I mean, I haven't seen that in a while, and I'm very happy that the teacher was able to the teacher was able to communicate with her students and reach to her students and answer questions with the students. It's just something that I am very, very happy to see.
Yes, sir. Dr. Salinas, we talk a lot about safety protocol here amongst ourselves, but we're not in the classroom. The teachers are where the rubber meets the road, and they're in there. And it was so awesome to see the study carrels. They weren't even using laptops because the teacher was teaching face to face. The students at home were on the laptop, but the ones in the class were actively engaged, writing on a notebook. And I hadn't seen that because they're used to just being on the computer. And we heard from Ms. Govea tell us that it's a night and day difference. When the kids are there, they're engaged. The ones at home, there's some are engaged and some are not engaged. But the ones that are there are 100% engaged, and we saw them calling on the students. So it was a great sight to see.
And the one thing that we heard from practically all the teachers that we spoke to was they felt safe. They felt safe. At first, they admitted that they weren't too sure. They were a little hesitant on coming back, but when they came back, they saw everything that we implemented. And some of them admitted that, I didn't want to come back. But after they saw how safe it was, they feel very comfortable. And that's the testimony that we heard from them. They feel safe in this environment, the environment that you gentlemen have created here at ECISD. And it was encouraging to see that. And then the kids were so happy to be back. The kids were smiling. The kids were engaged. It was like the kids missed it also. And so it was very enjoyable. And I also did get emotional too when you just see the reaction of the kids and the teacher, and to realize it's been almost a year. It's been almost a year. And so it's about time. And I'm excited that we're going forward, and it's looking very, very positive.
Yeah, and I've said this for the last several months. I feel safer from COVID at work than I do at home. Because at work we have protocols. Everybody follows protocols to make sure that we are safe. But when I'm at home and I'm out in the community, I mean, not everybody follows protocol. I feel, and I've said this all the time, I feel very, very safe coming to work.
The teachers at Avila, everyone we spoke to said they themselves clean the desks and the study carrels, and then the custodian comes and cleans it again. That's
true.
what they told us. She said, we give it a double cleaning, like it's very, very clean, germ and infection free. So, they're doing a great job keeping all the work area of the students safe.
And let me remind the parents out there, the students are going from class to class to class. If a student has, let's say at the elementary level, had 3 or 4 teachers, the PE teacher, the music teacher, the science, the reading, they go from reading to next period to music, to next period to PE, to science. So they go from class to class to class. They're not confined to one classroom the whole day, and they get to see all of their teachers at the elementary, at the middle, and at the high. They go and go visit with each of their teachers, which is
Yeah.
which is a big step to return to normalcy.
Very good.
Yes, we saw the kids change classes when we were there, and they have to stay socially distant and get themselves to the library or music or wherever it was they were going, and it was neat to see.
That's good.
We also visited another school. We visited Harwell.
Yeah.
So at this time, let's hear from the staff at Harwell Middle School.
Having the students here is a big difference than having them at home. When they're here, they could actually interact a little bit better with a teacher, and we have seen a big increase in the student grades with the students that are here in campus. At 7:15, the paraprofessionals and the clerks do come in through the front. We do have two employees there that are checking them. They do check them for their temperature. They do disinfect their hands, and they put a bracelet, one color per day. That's a central office initiative that we had, and they do come in. Once they do that, they go to their classrooms and they start their day, their offices, their classrooms. This is all part of our work safe plan that was developed by the school with the help of our nurse director, Ms. Avila. She did help us a lot when we were doing this at the beginning of the year. In the classrooms, they do have the carols. They do have a face mask and a shield. The shield and the face mask is required throughout the day. So as they're going throughout the day, they do have that on just to make sure that the spread of the virus doesn't happen. And during lunch, since there's a lot of kids in 6th, 7th, and 8th, we do have a two, Group A, Group B. Group A stays outside while Group B is eating, and then they alternate. And when they're going in there, Group A sits on the reds, Group B sits on the blues. That way there's time to disinfect the other ones while the other students go in there.
The first thing I do is I update my Google Classroom, and I update it with new material for both online and for my students that are going to be here on campus. I didn't feel safe at first. I wanted to stay home and just take care of myself at home. But when we all came back to campus and I saw all these safety precautions, I said, wait a minute, it is pretty safe here. Kids have changed drastically. I mean, now they ask questions, their grades have drastically changed a lot. So I'm very encouraged that they're here on campus. Everyone needs to be back to school. You should feel safe coming back to campus. The district has provided a lot of safety precautions here, so I'll encourage everyone to come back.
Mr. Hernandez, in seeing you teach, I can see that now more than ever, that face-to-face instruction is so important. I can see where you're interacting with the students here at school. And so I would encourage all parents that we're safe and that this is as close to face-to-face as we're going to get as we've gotten in over a year. So on behalf of the Board of Trustees, on my behalf, we appreciate everything that you do. We think that you guys are really the true heroes being over here teaching our children in the midst of the pandemic. We think things are getting better slowly, and hopefully more and more students will come and join their friends that are here teaching, because you're absolutely correct. Two things: we're safe, number one, but more importantly, face-to-face instruction, there's nothing like it. It's the best form of instruction that there is. We are a teacher-friendly administration, a teacher-friendly board. Whatever you need from us, we're going to be here to support you so that you can be the best teacher that you can be it staff development, be it resources, be it administrative support, whatever you need. Be assured that from central administration, you're going to get everything that you need.
It's teacher first, whatever we need. The board's always there to support us. Our administrators are always there to support us, so thank you a lot, sir.
We were the biggest campus when it came down to, before the teachers came back. We had 150 students, more or less, that were 150, 160. Since the teachers came back, we did see a big increase. We're close to 300 right now, students. It's 22 to 23% of our population that is back here learning from the teacher on campus.
Mr. Garza, we want to thank you for opening your schools to give the community a glimpse of the safety protocols that we're practicing, and thank you for being on this week's Superintendent's Perspective.
Thank you so much, Dr. Garza, for coming. You know the school's always open for the administration and the school board. Whenever you do want to come in, the school's always open.
And that was our tour at Harwell Middle School. We got to see several of the teachers and the classrooms, and we heard in particular from Mr. Robert Hernandez, science teacher, and he talked to us that he was very hesitant to come back on March 1st because he told us that he has underlying medical conditions, but that he feels perfectly safe now with all of the safety procedures that the school has in place. So that was neat to hear.
It was very encouraging, and coming from the perspective of somebody that teaches science and knows the importance and the reality of it, and even like that, and he was relieved when he came back and he saw that all the precautions, and so that was very encouraging, and that's coming from an individual that had underlying conditions, and is really the one with the highest liability of having a negative effect with the COVID. But even he himself shared that he feels safe, which was really cool. It was really encouraging to see that.
Yes, I was really happy to see Mr. Hernandez and Ms. Goea, and I reinforced to both of them in our tour that this administration, along with the board, we are going to do everything that we have to make sure that they understand that the teachers are our priority number one. We're as good as our teachers, as I say, and I know that the board, along with us here at Central Administration, we are going to do everything in our power to make sure that they are the best that they can be it staff development, be it resources that we provide to them, be it administrative, whatever they need. We're going to do our very, very best to meet those needs for our staff, keeping them safe, giving them whatever resources they need that they need to be the best teacher they can be. We are committed to our teachers at Emergency ISD.
And Dr. Garza, we also installed water fountains at our schools. Could you share a little bit about that?
Yes. So we had been providing, we did away with drinking water at the water fountain to not cross-contaminate anything. So we had been buying water bottles. And we're buying water bottles, one for each student, one per day. And that's what we had been doing for a long time. And then we get the Winter Storm Uri. They named it Uri. Winter Storm Uri came in.
Of the century.
The storm of the century across America. We were in freezing conditions here in the valley. That doesn't happen. We were freezing for 2-3 days straight. Pipes went out, power outages. The bottled water supply went down to nothing. I mean, we couldn't buy them. You couldn't buy them at Sam's or Walmart, anywhere. And now all of a sudden, the water bottles that we're giving our students, we ran out.
Yeah.
And we order more, and they can't bring them fast enough. So we had to go to touchless water fountains.
Okay.
And I'm happy to say that our maintenance and operations team worked around the clock in a matter of about 4 or 5 days, 2 weeks ago, right after the storm, and installed touchless water fountains at every school. We did 2 per elementary, 2 per middle school, and 4 per high school, just to start out. Now, we're going to put more in.
Yes,
That's not enough for you, sir. But it was enough to get the kids to get there and fill their water bottles up in the morning that they're bringing from home, but we're ordering some with logos from each school. I've already told every principal they need to order some for the kids that are there. And they go and they fill them up in the morning. If they run out later, they can go back and fill them up again. So we're real happy with this new system. It saves money, but at the same time, we're not waiting for someone to give us water bottles if they're there or not there. So,
You're good.
So it was a very good move by the district, and our maintenance team did a great job.
Dr. Garza, tell us about the governor's executive order. How is that impacting our schools?
It's not impacting them at all. Governor Abbott, 2 weeks ago, issued Executive Order 34 telling the state the mask mandate is gone. No more masks as of March 10th, and the capacity of businesses is at 100%. And so, whoa, what does that mean for schools? We fall under TEA. And TEA tells us we maintain the same protocols that were here before the governor's mandate. executive order, and we continue with the masks, with the safety protocols, and social distancing. And only the school board can vote to remove the mask and all of that. So until the school board decides to do it, we continue following the exact same protocols that were there before.
Excellent.
Dr. Garza, I know that some students are off to spring break. Any words of wisdom for some of those families that are off to
Yes,
to the beach or to
stay home, stay socially distant, stick to your vaccine pod. If everybody's been vaccinated, stay with them. But we definitely don't want to go back to the way it was before. I told you about the hospitalization rates earlier that have been dipping, and we're down to 11%. We don't want to see them come back to 15, 20, 30% because the kids went crazy at spring break. So one thing that's going to help is we only have a 2-day spring break this week. So they can't be gone for too long.
Yeah, it's true.
But we want to make sure that they stay safe and stay away from big crowds, concerts, that kind of thing. Stay away from them.
Before we close, sir, let me remind the students out there, we resume classes March 22nd, back to school. Thank you for joining us for the Superintendent's Perspective. Stay safe and stay healthy.